بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد. Inshallah, we continue the book of Siyam, and if you have any question concerning the classes that we already have done, inshallah. طيب, I will read part of what we have done from the matan, and if another question arise, please do. قال يقول المصنف: وإن أفطرت حامل أو مرضع خوفا على أنفسهما قضتاه فقط، وعلى ولديهما قضتا أو أطعمتا لكل يوم مسكينا. If a pregnant woman or one who's suckling her baby, they had to break their fast during Ramadan. The cause is either concerning about their health, خوفا على أنفسهما, if the concern is their own health, they only make up the day. If their concern is about their child, they will break the fast, make up the day, and pay a fidya, which is feeding a miskin. ومن نوى الصوم ثم جن أو أغمي عليه جميع النهار ولم يفق جزءا منه لم يصح صومه. And whoever who intended the fasting and then he, subhanallah, get the sickness to turn insane, or he lost conscience for the whole day and he didn't wake up during the day or part of it, قال his siyam will not be صحيح, will not be صحيح, accepted. إلا أن نام جميع النهار, but if someone intended the fasting and then he only slept the whole day, his siyam is صحيح. Because, and we said the difference between them, that the one who's sleeping, you can wake him up, and the one who's unconscious, he will not be able to be brought back to conscience. So as he intended the siyam, but during this state he was not able to receive the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because remember, we are entitled to fulfill the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with condition. The first condition is that you will be able to understand the command. And the understand, not knowledge here, comprehend, which is mean like someone, he has his full mental capacity. The one unconscious, he's out of his mental capacity, he's not present. The same for the insane, the same for the child. That's why we need عاقل, بالغ عاقل. طبعا, being Muslim, that's the first of the shurut. قال, but someone who sleeps, when he slept, he's عاقل, and then when he make the intention, and he can wake up at any time. ويلزم المغمى عليه القضاء فقط, and the one who's unconscious, he only make up for the day. ويجب تعيين النية من الليل لصوم كل يوم واجب لا نية الفرضية, and it is obligatory to specify the intention for every day to fast. And then we had went through the analysis. One intention for the whole Ramadan will be insha'Allah acceptable, as the intention, we said, it is subhanAllah that planning to fast, and that will be considered insha'Allah as intention, as we have studied. لا نية الفرضية, someone is not obligatory to say tomorrow this is an obligation that I'm going to. Just Ramadan, knowing this Ramadan is enough. ويصح النفل بنية من النهار قبل الزوال وبعده. Now, when someone is fasting, a voluntary fasting, not an obligatory fasting, like fasting the day of Monday and Thursday, or like any day, The intention can be initiated during the day. If someone, for example, woke up, he didn't find food, like the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, I'll continue this day fasting. That his fasting is accepted. ولو نوى إن كان غدا من رمضان فهو فرضي لم يجزئه. And if someone will intend with the let's say قال وإن نوى ولو نوى, if he intend, if tomorrow is Ramadan. And when he say is tomorrow, he suppose. So to suppose that if it might be Ramadan, then I will be fasting. That's according to the author and to the school of thought that we're studying here of the author, which is the Hanbali school. It's not accepted. Why? Because you cannot initiate a worship with a non-determined and definitive intention. But we said the intention is say, I'm not be able to stay the night to see if it's tomorrow Ramadan or not. But I am fasting, is Ramadan is tomorrow. Not to say, it depends. If tomorrow Ramadan, I will fast. If it's not, I'm not going to be fast. No, the intention need to be definitive intention, determined, well defined. I'm fasting. I don't know if it's going to be Ramadan because I cannot stay. I need to sleep. For example, say, tomorrow I'm fasting, inshallah, as long as Ramadan. So this is how to answer the last part of this his statement. قال ومن نوى الإفطار أفطر. And whoever who intend to break his fast or to not fast, then his fasting is not accepted. So someone can break his fast by simple intention. And we mentioned that and we studied. We mentioned that and we have studied. But we have studied some of its also circumstances, because someone, he might, for example, being in a very harsh day and it's very hot. He said, if I'm gonna continue like this, I might not finish. I will not be able to continue the fasting. This is not niyyah. This is not niyyah. This is still striving. But if someone said, that's it, I cannot. I intend, that's it. I'm going, like I intend. It's like there's the intention, that's it. I'm not going to fast. That's break the fast. That's what he meant. وَمَنَّ وَالْإِفْطَارَ أَفْطَرْ. طيب. We move to the next chapter. باب ما يفسد الصوم ويوجب الكفار. The chapter of ما يفسد الصوم. فساد الصوم is to void the صوم. To ruin, if you can say, to void and annul the fasting. What are the action that void? Subhanallah, we said as-salatu. There's terms that the fuqaha they mention related to the worship. The worship is void. For the salah, they say mubtilatu salah. Mubtilatu salah. For the wudu, they say nawaqidul wudu. For the sawm, they say mufsidatu or muftiratu sawm. Mufsidatu. So they use terms to be associated to a specific worship. طيب. يقول هنا من أكل أو شرب أو استعطى أو احتقن أو اكتحل بما يصل إلى حلقه أو أدخل إلى جوفه شيئا من أي موضع كان غير إحليله أو استاق أو استمنى أو باشر فأمنى أو أمذى أو كرر النظر فأنزل أو حجم أو احتجم وظهر دم عامدا ذاكرا لصومه فسد. لا ناسيا أو مكرها. So, mashallah, this is, as you see it, might take us a whole class to go through this one. طيب. قال يفسد, the first thing we have, the first thing, what are, قال the first thing, the أصول المفترات. ما هي أصول المفترات? Let's say the most basic, or the three categories of the muftirat, those who break the fast. Using them or doing them will break the fast. Three categories. These are the usul. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned them in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 187. Ayah 187. قال فالآن باشروهن وابتغوا ما كتب الله لكم وكلوا واشربوا حتى يتبين لكم الخيط الأبيض من الخيط الأسود من الفجر ثم أتموا الصيام إلى الليل. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned what will be lawful, allowed during the night of Ramadan to do, and then to stop doing it till the sunset. The intimate intercourse between spouses. وقال كلوا, eating, واشربوا, drink, till the coming up of the dawn. And the coming up of the dawn is to discern between the light thread from the black thread which is in the horizon. That's what the difference between al-fajr al-sadiq wal-fajr al-kadhib. Then continue your fasting to the night. So the night here is the sunset. So those are usul al-muftirat. Those are usul al-muftirat. قال, look, من أكل أو شرب, and then in the end قال sometimes in the matan there's differences between some of the mutun. It seems here. طيب. The first one, من أكل. من أكل. And then من أكل, this is قال شرطية. من أكل شرطية is like condition. Whoever who eats. And then there's the answer. What happened? The answer is at the end of the sentence that I just mentioned. فسد صومه. His siyam is void, nullified. والأكل هو إدخال الشيء إلى المعدة عن طريق الفم. Now we're going to see, subhanallah, the differences of opinion and to understand the levels and the different categories, how to put them under this three root or three category, main category of muftirat. When you say akl, what's the meaning of the akl? Akl is eating. What meaning of eating? Here, according to the Sharia, the terminology is whatever someone get to his jawf, inside, from the mouth, get inside. So it goes through the throat and touch the ma'idah. Al-jawfu is the inside, what is inside of the body of the human being. So, al-halqu is jawf, throat. Al-sadru is jawf. Al-sadru is like the chest. Al-ma'idah is jawf. Now, when we say aklun, eating, you know, this is related to the ma'idah. So, some scholars said, if you get something, and you get to the level of the ma'idah, don't get inside the ma'idah, that will not break the fast. Why? Because for them, they limit or restrict al-jawf to the stomach. But when we say al-jawf, anything that get inside the body. And this is how the difference of the scholar, because they said if it get to the throat, so it is mean that it's going to have one way to get to the ma'id. So some of the scholars said, what if you attach it with a thread and you get it out? That's not muftar. And this is it's like, in a way, to see how the scholar, mashallah, they go into details to come up with all this ahkam, mashallah ta'ala. So, قال وقولنا إدخال الشيء يشمل ما ينفع ما يضر. So when we say get something inside, let's say al-jawfu, inside, it really encompasses whatever it is beneficial, healthy and not healthy, halal or haram. So here the hukum is not related to what is halal or haram to eat. The hukum is related to whatever get inside the body cause the breaking of the fast. For example, someone, he will eat something haram. Said, you break your fast, actually your fasting is not accepted or anything like that. Why? Because you ate a haram. He said, that's not the point here. The point that he get inside him anything, which is min yanfa'u. What is it? The dust. Someone, he's like traveling and there's a big storm and sand get inside his mouth and he swallowed that sand, is going to break his fast or not? According to this definition, yes, it does. But according to the other scholar, said no, only break the fast what is known to be food. If someone, for example, take small pebbles clean and he swallow it, will it break his fast or not? Then we say it depends on the definition that we're going to adopt concerning the meaning of eating. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قَالَ وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا. Kulu, anything that gets inside. So this is where you're going to see the difference of opinion between the scholars. قَالَ anything that someone will eat from which is healthy and known as a food, like meat, like bread, like veggies, etc. وَمَا يَضُرُّ. What is things like it can hurt, like hashisha, tobacco, or things like that. وَنَحْوِهَا. So there's the good thing and also the harmful thing. As I said, the issue here, it's not the nature of what they eating. The eating itself is the issue. Eating itself. Eating, which is this action to get inside the body, whatever someone had to get into it. واضح. وقال بعض أهل العلم. This is where we come to a difference of opinion. Some of the scholars, they said, قال إما لا أن ما لا يغذى لا فطر لا يفطر بأكله. ما لا يغذي لا يفطر بأكله or لا يفطر. Anything that does not nourish, anything that is not food, will not cause the breaking of the fast. Which is really very, relevant opinion. Relevant opinion. And in the end, even the scholar, they have difference of opinion. In the end of the analysis, you find them, they align on the same opinion, but from different paths. And you're going to see it, inshallah ta'ala. قال وبناء على هذا فإن بلع الخرزة أو الحصاة أو ما أشبهها لا يفطر. Based on this opinion, anyone who is like swallow, piece of bead, a small stone, kharza, it does not break his fast because that is not food. But in general, when we say someone akala, anything it get inside the stomach, it will break the fast. That's according to the author, and that's another opinion that we mentioned. قال, the second category is shariba, to drink. والشرب, the same, is englobe both what is beneficial, healthy, halal, and what is harmful and haram. anything that can be drunk from water, soups, milks, blood, because the blood is haram. But people, for example, we're going to talk about, who do hijama, sometimes they have to suck something before they have some tools, or they have the blood to get out, so some blood can go to inside their throat. I mean, the Muslim will not drink the blood, but in such condition, or someone is helping someone to get, filled from the wound, things like happen. This is harmful, but it's going to cause the breaking of the fast. قال الدخان, tobacco, people who smoke tobacco, that is assimilated to the drinking. People, they say it's air. No, it's not air. It's like drinking. So shariba doesn't mean to be like what get inside the lungs or the stomach from liquid. It can be even smoke. That's shariba, enter shariba, enter drinking. Because even in Arabic, for the dukhan, they say shurbu dukhan. Shurbu, which is literally is not, its translation is drinking, but is more that shurbu is like to have, get inside, not the nature of food, but you get inside the system of the body, like anything liquid or assimilated, or for example, someone when he gets steam, when he will be breathing steam, that steam is going to turn into liquid. So subhanallah, the dukhan, the smoke, it turns into nicotine. So it is a substance, it's not air, because some people, ignorant of some people, they want to give false interpretation. They said nothing have to do with akl and shurb. No, we say it is in the category of shurb. قال ويلحق بالأكل والشرب ما كان بمعناهما, and it will also join to the eating and drinking whatever comes into the meaning of it. So, for example, when we say meaning, someone will say he gets some nutrition. How he get nutrition? He get nutrition through syringe. So that is going to be joined to the same hukm. Because he said he getting power, he getting thing, the food. Someone will be weak, we give him food, he get back, subhanallah, he's refreshed, he gain back his strength. And someone cannot even eat, they given him syringe to feed him. So that will be assimilated. Well, assimilated to the eating and drinking. طيب. The next one, قال, this is أكل أو شرب أو استعطى. ما هو الصعوط? الصعوط is whatever get inside the body through the nose. That's also cause the breaking of the fast. So the nose, it really a channel to get, liquid or anything that someone will get through the nose to the throat, and then the throat to the معدة, to the stomach. The evidence of that قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم للقيط ابن صبرة وبالغ في الاستنشاق إلا أن تكون صائمة. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم instructing in this hadith أخرجه أبو داود والترمذي والنسائي, to Laqit, teaching him the way, giving him the way how to do the wudu. He said وبالغ في الاستنشاق. When you do the wudu, you do the sniffling, the water. And the Prophet ﷺ said, overdo the istinshaq. Why overdo the istinshaq? Is to clean the side of the narrows of the nose. قال, except when you are fasting. So this exception, why? Because when someone fasting, he might cause the water to go through the nose and get inside the throat, and then it will be causing the breaking of the fast. So that's قال وهذا يدل على أن الصائم لا يبالغ في الاستنشاق. طيب قال أو احتقن. الاحتقان is to use the medication through the way from the back. From the back. That's الاحتقان. From the back. According to the author, whoever who used such, medication from that area is muftar. Why? What is the illah here? That's why the hukum depends on its illah. This is very important, as we already studied this in Usul al-Fiqh, and we study it, alhamdulillah, all along the classes of the fiqh, to understand that the hukum rotate around its reason. The hukum has objective, the hukum has wisdom, the hukum has reason to be built, to be legislated. The hukum, the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is either we have the ability to know it through istinbat, or to know it because the Prophet ﷺ told us, or to know it because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, or to not know it, but we know that the hukum is from Allah, therefore is beneficial for you. Therefore, when we do not know the illah, we call it ta'abbudi. This is way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You observe it by, by obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the ta'abbudi. Example of hukum that the Prophet ﷺ explained to us the illah. قال ألا إني كنت قد نهيتكم عن زيارة القبور ألا فزوروها. I have before prohibited you to go and visit the graves, the graveyards. Now go ahead and visit it, and visit. And then he adds, قال ألا إنها تذكركم الموت أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. He said, it reminds you death. So the زيارة القبور is not to do any weird things, is to remind ourselves death. So this is the illah. So the reason, so there's objective. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he talked about al-khamr, the alcohol, the intoxicant, and he told us how the intoxicant cause enmity, صد عن سبيل الله وعن ذكر الله. قال إنما يريد الشيطان أن يوقع, with this خمر الميسر أن يوقع بينكم العداوة والبغضاء إلى آخر الآية. So Allah gave us how the intoxicant will cause all these ill consequences. Therefore, do not do it. So that's the illah, that's the reason. So here, the istinbat is the study of the scholar through the way of the ijtihad to study the wisdom for which the hukum was legislated. So here, the scholar, the author here, the illah, whatever get inside the body is muftar. The scholar who go farther in details, they say, no, this one, it's not. So according to the scholar here, قال من احتقن, any type of medication someone get through the way of the back is muftar. Why? Because get inside your body. واضح. قال لأن العلة وصول الشيء إلى الجوف والحقنة تصل إلى الجوف. The way of احتقان takes you inside the body. طيب. وهذا المشهور من مذهب الإمام أحمد. This is the known and the most the opinion that is being the main opinion in the school of thought of Imam Ahmad. Now, we have a statement and another opinion from one of the greatest scholars in the Hanbali school, which is Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah. He has another opinion. قال لا فطر بالحقنة. The حقنة does not break the fasting. Now, look the illah of Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, the reason, the wisdom. He say, because the haqna, it will not be assimilated in the common talk of the people, in their common knowledge, in their common habit, to be called drinking or eating. We have to abstain yourself from drinking and eating. The haqna, nothing have to do with it. So he put it on the side. And you see here, the first level, whatever get to the body is muftar, break the fast. A second level, more analysis, afterwards you say, let's go deeper here. If the haqna is assimilated to eating and drinking, he said no, then it's not muftar. That's what he's saying, rahimahullah. قال لا فطرة لأنه لا يطلق عليها اسم الأكل والشرب لا لغة ولا عرفا. We cannot say al-haqna is eating or drinking, not in a linguistic point of view, not in the habit and tradition, perspective. And if it was, then anything that get to the inside of the body will break the fast. Anything. If you put some cream, get inside your body, your thing. Anything that get inside the body, maybe someone is sweating and then the sweat dry, say, get back to my body, so it broke my fast. Therefore, that's why some of the scholars, they go deeper in the analysis, first to define the wisdom, and to not someone be excessive in a way to be ملبس عليه من الشيطان. The shaitan will confuse him. And he said, I'll continue كلام شيخ الإسلام, قال ولكن الكتاب والسنة دل على شيء معين. The book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, they specified something very clear, eating and drinking. Of course, there is other analysis and saying, but we stop here because this is very clear, mashallah. بناء على هذا, based on that, the حقنة is not really من المفترات. It does not break the fasting. واضح. قال ومن الحقن المعروفة الآن, what is known from this action of احتقان or حقنة, people, they use it when, type of the medication that they use when people, they have extreme fever, or they used to measure the level of the fever. So any of those actions done, with medication or any way from this purpose does not break the fast. Now, قال أو استعط أو احتقن أو اكتحل. اكتحل. الاكتحال is to do the كحل. That black powder, cosmetic black powder, الكحل, is like an eyeline. الكحل, some of it, subhanallah, when it's done, people, they feel the taste of the كحل in the throat. So العين منفذ. So العين, subhanallah, whatever you put in العين, if you put drops, subhanallah, on a dry eye, you feel the taste of the drop into your throat, right? So according to the author, so al-aynu manfadun ila al-batini. So like al-aynu is also a way to get to inside the body. Therefore, based on his illah, based on the principle of breaking the fast, then it does. It does. Anything that get to the chest, to the throat, to the stomach, break the fast. طيب. Also, we have kind of analysis in this part too. قال, this is based on the illah that anything that gets inside, break the fast. Also, in the opinion of Shaykh al-Islam, saying that the kuhl does not break the fast. The kuhl does not break the fast, even though its taste is felt into the throat. Why? Now, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he bases illah on what? On something that very clear. Do we call this food or drink? No. Would you invite someone for food and give him kuhl? Say, make some eyelines, inshallah. You're going to give him food. So no one will break his fast on kuhl or on dropping. So that's what is referring to Shaykh al-Islam, what we call akl wa shurb. قال إن هذا لا يسمى أكلا وشربا ولا بمعنى الأكل والشرب ولا يحصل به ما يحصل بالأكل والشرب. This is first, is not in the meaning, is not into let's say in the meaning or like it goes into same line of the food or eating and drinking, because eating and drinking, it has this characteristic of nourishment, of nutrition. The al-kuhl, he does not. Also, it's not called as a food or is known in the urf, in the tradition, in the mores, in the customs, in the common sense to be assimilated to the food. So how can we join it to the muftirat? That's his illa rahmatullahi alayhi. And then he's saying there is no any hadith reported on the Prophet ﷺ to specify for us this hukum. Then we limit to what is clear in the book of Allah and the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Based on that, if someone will use drops in his eye and yet he will find the taste of the drops in his throat, that does not break the fast. Now, if he has it in his throat, but if he swallow it afterward, that's another action. Wallah. If he swallow it, then he swallowed something liquid, that breaks the fast. But the fact to feel or to taste the whatever he put, he dropped in his eye, in his throat, that does not break the fast. To swallow it afterward, that's another action. قال أو أدخل إلى جوفه شيئا من أي موضع كان. And this is based on the illah of the author. أو أدخل في جوفه شيئا من أي موضع كان. أو he get to his body, to his inside body, anything from any part. And here, subhanallah, you see how the scholars they have a kind of pretty visionary in a way that they, with their hukum, they covered generation to come. Now there's people surgery, they have subhanallah opens here, people they have opened when they cannot use things. So he said قال من أي موضع كان. So not known, and it covered generation to come with the advance of the technology and medicine, subhanallah. So which is mean anything that gets inside the body, it break the fast according to the illah of the author. غير إحليله غير إحليله غير إحليله. طيب. Before get to exception of the إحليل, قال هنا based on this opinion, the answer of many other scholars, they say it really does not break the fast. أنه لا يفطر إلا أن يكون في هذا المنظار دهن أو نحوه يصل إلى المعدة بواسطة هذا المنظار. You know, they use those tools to get inside the stomach now, right? To see and what they call these tools? Yes. So I said that, subhanAllah, does not break the fast. According to the author, it does. That's not food. Unless this tools that they use, it has kind of grease or things that it really might have some nutrition. That's where it is. So that nutrition or substance they put on that tools get into the stomach, that will break the fast. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The problem is they'll use a dye first, and that dye will settle in the area where there's an issue. And when we go through the tube, you can see this area there.
So that the dohan or type of that will break the fast. But he said أي شيء, anything, no, not anything, anything that it has, you know, substance as food or anything liquid or things like that. Now, قال ولا يجوز استعماله, but things like that someone should not use them during Ramadan. So if he has anything, he will have to plan it either after iftar or other than in Ramadan. قال ولو كان له فتحة في بطنه وأدخل إلى بطنه شيئا عن طريق هذه الفتحة فعلى المذهب يفطر. If he has someone an opening in his stomach and through that opening they get for him food, that's he'll break his fast. And this is what I said, subhanallah, how they have the hukum that will really answer a question for future generation. And there's of course more analysis, but this is inshallah the most important information to share with you. نعم.
How about the patches? You know, you can put in the skin and get medication fluids. So the skin could be a way that growth medicine as well. Or sometimes you can also get it from the mucocavity between the gum and the cheek. Sometimes you put something there that will grow. You know, like they're using nicotine sometimes to take the gum and just put it up there.
This will be assimilated to the syringe. The syringe does not break the fast if it goes into the nerves and if the content it's not nutritional. It does not. If it has nutrition in it to the body, then it does. The same will apply the same. غير here now استثناء, all of that غير إحليله, anything that gets inside the body break the fast except the إحليل is the organ of the man from where he urinate. That path, it does not get to the jawf according to them, and that's, you know, anything that gets from there does not break the wudu according to the madhab. That's الإحليل. The next one قال أو استقاء. استقاء is to vomit, but استقاء is to cause the vomit. So someone here استقاء is different than إنسان قال أصابه أو تقيأ. القي is the vomit, puking. When someone is in a situation he feel like bad and everything, he goes and he force the vomit. That's break the fast. But to vomit without trying to vomit in a way that someone cannot control it, that does not. So this is here the farq between istaqa'a. Istaqa'a, he caused the vomit. واستفعل عادة فيها استدعى. استفعل استدعى. وزني استفعل أي طلب الفعل. استفعل أي طلب للفعل. When you see استدعى, call someone to the da'wah. استقاء, he called the vomit. So he's the one who forces. So the initiation of the action comes from the person himself, not was him forced, by sickness or things. No. Now, calling or do the action to cause the vomit, only break the vomit when someone really does the action, get the vomit. If he make the action and there's nothing come out, it does not break the fast. So istaqa'a with the qay. قال أما ما خرج بالتعتع من الحلق فإنه لا يفطر. And anything that comes out of the throat without someone can hold it and without controlling it or causing it, that does not break the wudu. As in hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, رواه أبو هريرة عند أبي داود والترمذي والنسائي وأحمد قال من استقاء عمدا فليقضي ومن ذرعه القيء فلا قضاء عليه. Whoever who cause the vomit intentionally, cause himself to vomit, he has to make up for that day. ومن ذرعه القيء, ذرعه أي غلبه, it forced him. فلا قضاء عليه, he should not make up that day. So in the vomit part is the making up the day only for those who intentionally do it. Intentionally do it. Those who do not do it intentionally, then they not supposed to make up for the day.
But they going to eat some of them.
صحيح. The one who's sick, for example, or something happened to him, he's passing through thing and he felt like some strong smell that give him nausea and he cannot help it and he vomits. That vomit he didn't cause it. That vomit, subhanallah, غلبه at the Prophet ﷺ. It was kind of forced on him. That person, he just clean his mouth, continue his fasting, and that didn't break his fast. The one who has problem, he feel like pain, and he feel like, certain condition. People that go, to the bathroom and they start, it's either putting their finger, they causing it, they forcing it. This action caused the breaking of the fast. And they have to make it up. The next one, قال أو استمنى. الاستمناء is to cause, subhanallah, with desire for someone to have, water coming out, many sperm. Istamna is to cause the water to come out with desire. And that's yufsid. That's void the and annul and break the fast. And things are done, different ways. So causing that, even with rubbing or with any type of that, as he's saying, till he get the water out, al-mani out, then قال فإن صومه يفسد بذلك. And this is ما عليه الأئمة الأربعة. This is a consensus between the four school of thought, مالك والشافعي وأبي حنيفة وأحمد. The Zahiri, they have the Zahiri school, they don't have a dalil, that they don't take it in consideration. But the scholar, the consensus between the four school of thought, it void and annul the sawm. The next one, باشر فأمنى. باشر غير جامعة. باشر is not جامعة. جامعة is the intimate intercourse. باشر is just to have like that introduction of the intimate intercourse. فأمنى, that introduction cause one to لينزل. الإنزال is to have the water coming out. And then what it happened, then the fast is broken. Now here the author adds something else, أو أمذى. المذي والوجه. الوجه is not part of it because الوجه comes, kind of thick substance after or before the urine with kind of excrement. It doesn't have any reason. I mean, it depends. But al-madyu, it comes out with desire, which is not al-mani. It's very thin, comes before the urine, and that's because it coming out of, caused by desire. That's what the author classified to be from mufsidatul asam. Al-madi, it really has a question mark. The many that is among the four school of thought is a consensus. Al-madyu now, because al-mani require full ghusl. Al-madyu only require wudu, just to wash the private and make wudu only. فيقول هنا المذهب أن خروج المذي مفسد للصوم كالمني. According to the school of thought, here we have Hanbali, that the coming out of madi caused the breaking of the fasting as the mani. Exactly. And this is the madi, we said, is being caused by the action of desire, right? Mubashara or things like that. We have two opinions concerning the madi. According to the school of thought, this first one, that yes, it caused the breaking of the fast. But it does not have, this is by analogy of desire. So this desire caused the mani, this desire caused the madi, then it does break the fast. The second opinion, أنه لا يفطر لأن المدي دون المني. We cannot have the same level, the madi and mani together. The mani caused the ghusl, the madi does not. Therefore, if the madi comes, it will not break the fast. And this is also the opinion that been chosen by Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala. The next one, before we go to prayer, أو كرر النظر فأنزل. كرر النظر فأنزل. Someone he's looking, gaze. The gazing twice, more than two and up. And that caused the person to have water coming out. That break the fast. Now, subhanallah, the Prophet ﷺ قال لك الأولى وليست لك الثانية. Someone, he looked, is like with no intention, unintentionally, in a very spontaneous way. The next action, he has to lower his gaze. Sometimes, subhanAllah, someone see that things that he's not supposed to see. If he will stare back instead of lowering gaze, and that will cause someone, with type of shahwa to the mani come out, then that's breaking the fast. The question, what if it come out at the first gaze? Does it break the fast? It does not. That's why he emphasized on karrara. He repeat. Because the first one, afwiya, someone, depends, subhanAllah, there's people. At the first gaze that, he could not control himself. Then he will get ghusl and it will not break his fast. Because there weren't that, there was not that ill intention to break the fast. It was something spontaneous. He looked and that's it. But if someone he looked, instead of lowering his gaze, he came back. And then happened what happened afterward, then it ruined his fasting. قال فصار النظر فيه تفصيل إن كرره حتى أنزل فسد صوم. If he will keep, gazing till he will have the water coming out, that الصوم يفسد, then it void the siyam. وإن أنزل بنظرة واحدة لم يفسد. And if it happened after one time, then it will not break his fast. Now, there's people who has kind of, they want to give their ill interpretation. Someone, when you say one gaze, second gaze, third gaze. But what if one gaze is stretched to 5 minutes? Are you going to say this is the first one that I have the right for it? So that's why he's saying, Qala, if it was the first one, but someone he keeps staring. Because if it was spontaneous, the next action is to lower the gaze, not to stare. Staring will be assimilated as karrara. It's more than one gaze. واضح. قال لأن الاستمرار كالتكرار. Any question, inshallah, before we continue? The next item in the list of مفسدات الصوم قال أو حجم أو احتجم أو حجم أو احتجم. الحجامة is the cupping, the fact to extract the blood. MashaAllah, we have a professional here. الله يحفظكم. الله يحفظكم. احتجم بمعنى طلب الحجامة أو طلب من يحجم له. احتجم is the action to request someone to do the hijama. So حجم أو احتجم, both the one who do the hijama and the one who the hijama is done for him. So the cupping, the author of the cupping, the one that he getting the cupping. Both of them are according to the madhab, it break the fasting. According to the madhab, it break the fasting. Look what he said. قال وظهر دم. So he put the illah, the coming out of the blood, it causes the breaking of the fast through the way of the cupping. وظهر دم, according to the author, any quantity of blood. So it's not about the quantity here. Any quantity of blood appears, then through the action of cupping, it leads to the breaking of the fast. وسواء كانت الحجامة في الرأس أو في الكتفين, the cupping is done at the level of the head or on the shoulder. It is the same for the hukm. This mas'ala اختلف فيها العلماء. This mas'ala, the scholars, they have difference of opinion concerning this mas'ala. And this mas'ala من مفردات الإمام أحمد. What it means من مفردات الإمام أحمد, which is one of the masail that only Al-Imam Ahmad, or the school of thought of Imam Ahmad, they have their opinion in it different from the rest. This is from mufradat. Like, for example, to redo the wudu from the eating of the camel meat, specific in the Hanbali school. To the cupping, break the fast, is very specific as opinion in the Hanbali school. فهمت؟ قال وهي من مفردات الإمام أحمد. فأكثر أهل العلم يرون أن الحجامة لا تفطر ويستدلون بالآثار والنظر. The majority of the scholars, they see that their opinion is that the cupping does not break the fast, based on evidence from the author and based on the analysis and the analogy. Concerning the author, in the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, قال, or reporting that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam احتجم وهو صائم واحتجم وهو محرم. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did the capping while he was fasting and did the capping while he was in a state of ihram. And also Ahlul Ilmi, those who are defending and supporting the opinion that the hijama, the capping, does not break the fast, they had other ahadith and other stories from the Sunnah and from the companion Ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim. قال واستدلوا أيضا بأحاديث أخرى من رواية أنس, other ahadith narrated by Anas, and other في بعضها التفصيل بأن الحجامة كانت من أجل الضعف ثم رخص فيها. That some of the scholars, the hadith narrated by some of the companions, that the hijama was, the Prophet ﷺ said he prohibited because it caused weakness. Someone, when you get blood, he required to get back that blood at least with the food. So as it caused weakness, according to analysis of the scholar and saying of companion, then it's been given the permission to do it. As for those who said that to break the fast because they have the evidence that the Prophet ﷺ قال أفطر الحاجم والمحجوم. In this hadith, أخرجه أبو داود والنسائي وابن ماجه والإمام أحمد قال أفطر الحاجم والمحجوم. They broke their fast, the hajim and the mahjum, the one who doing the capping and the one who had the capping done for him. This hadith, those who defend the other opinion, they had the analysis for them of this hadith is weak hadith, and the weak hadith could not be stand as an evidence. But according to the ruwat of the hadith, according to the muhaqqiqeen, according to Al-Imam Ahmad, this hadith is sahih. So that's why even in the hukm al-hadith, the judgment and the evaluation of the hadith led to difference of opinion. Those who see the hadith da'if, so they will not take it in consideration. Those who this hadith is sound, they take it in consideration and they apply the hukm and the ruling that is contained in the hadith. According to Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, looking into analyzing and extracting the wisdom behind which the hijama leads to the breaking of the fast, he said, قال إن إفطار الصائم بالحجامة له حكمة أما المحجوم فالحكمة هو أنه إذا خرج منه هذا الدم أصاب بدنه الضعف. The one who's getting the capping, when the blood come out from his body, he going to cause him weakness, and that weakness to regain back his strength, it need food. So that's one of the cause that it leads to the breaking of the fast. So the Sharia looking forward for this person to regain back his strength. Therefore he should not do the capping during the fasting, and if he does it, he cause the breaking of the fast. For the hajim, because in his action he might be doing some action to suck some of blood to get it out, therefore it might have it to go through his throat, and that it causes. Therefore, based on the analysis of Shaykh al-Islam, if the tools are done does not require the hajim to do such action, therefore it does not break his fast. So you see the analysis here, because the question, the one who's doing the capping, he nothing have to do with the blood. He the one who's the doing the action. So they said, in the analysis of Shaykh al-Islam, that he do action that he might have the blood getting. So, let's say the action will cause the breaking of the fast. So I say, what if he use tools that does not really involve any such, action who might, lead the person to swallow some of the blood? They said, therefore, it will not break his fast. And that's why we're saying there's many of the scholars they're saying that does not, especially in the hadith that we mentioned, that the Prophet ﷺ did the cupping while he's muhtajim. But based on the weakness that caused the extraction of the blood, which is the same when someone is donating blood, therefore someone should do it not in a time of fasting as it causes his weakness, but if someone feels secure and safe, and he will do it, either cupping or donating blood, according to the majority of the scholar, it does not break the fasting. It does not break the fasting, but someone of way of precaution, he should not do it while he's fasting. A question comes if someone, doing when people they do some procedure to get the blood or cut sometimes, getting blood through some nerve. Some of the procedure are done, or this can be assimilated at the hijama. According to the Hanbali school, no, because the hijama here, it's amrun ta'abbudi. Because for the hajim, there is no kind of a clear reason why to break his fast. Therefore, in these cases, the hukum is ta'abbudi. Those who justify the hukum, and the majority of the scholars, they said it does not. For those who are holding this position that it does, if you ask them, then what about the hajim, the one who's doing the cupping? So he said, because it's either he did it for the person who's going to cause him to break the fast. But this is not in the spirit of the Sharia as being a way to analyze so. Therefore, here he said is by way of ibadah, is a worship. Allah asks you to worship Him through the fasting, through the prayer, and asks you to worship Him through certain action to not do. Do not do hijama. Then I do it as a worship, not there is a reason. I don't need to comprehend the reason. That's when it becomes ta'abbudi. Pray dhuhr at time of dhuhr. He said, I will not be able to pray on time of dhuhr. Can I pray it before? He said, no, you cannot. You can pray it after as qadha, but not before. That's ta'abbudi. Hukum ta'abbudi. So, but as we said, this is أما ما ذهب عليه شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية وهو أن علة الفطر بالحجامة معلومة. فيقول, if according to Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, the illah is the weakness, and the illah for the hajim is he might swallow the blood. So if you're using tools that he will not swallow, so it does not break. And this is, you see, Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he go farther in the analysis to get, have the true reason. If there's a reason, we want to understand it, and based on the reason, we build the opinions. And this is, in the Sharia, that is required from the mujtahid to go dig deeper into the reason of the ahkam to help, the ummah be more flexible and lighten on her the way of the implementation of the ahkam of the Sharia. So he's saying, based on that, if it's really caused the weakness, so anything that require to get out blood or to give blood or things, so therefore it does break the fast. And the hukum is, as a conclusion in this mas'ala, the majority of the scholar, they don't see that the hijama break the fasting, as in the hadith that we mentioned, that the Prophet ﷺ did it while he's fasting. The only school of thought who hold on the position that it does break is the Hanbali school, according to the hadith that they have it hadith sahih, that they have it hadith accepted. The other scholar, they don't see this hadith is accepted that we mentioned. Now, these are the ahkam of the Sharia as being presented and analyzed by scholars. But there's people who they talk make everything almost breaking the fast. That's nothing you have to do with the ahkam. As people that go extreme. If someone, for example, using siwak, and he get bleeding in his mouth, they say after that does not make iftar. The fact for someone to bleed from his mouth without swallowing it, that does not. That's one. قال ولو حك جلده حتى خرج الدم. People, for example, they they itch their skin till blood come out. People, they say, oh, he broke his fast. No, that's nothing have to do with the breaking the fast. Someone, for example, remove the tooth, and the tooth will cause, of course, the bleeding. That bleeding does not break the fast. Someone, he has blood coming out of his nose, it does not break the fast. Things like that people, anything that causing the coming out of the blood, just put it under the ruling is break the fast. Nothing from the Sharia or the evidence states such a thing. On what we have said, أكل وشرب واستعطى واحتقن وأدخل إلى جوفه شيئا من أي موضع كان، أو استقاء أو استمنى أو باشر فأمنى أو أمذى أو كرر النظر فأنزل أو حجم أو احتجم. All of that, it has shurut. When exactly they truly do break the fasting. The first condition, قال عامدا. He did it intentionally. So intentionally, he ate, knowing that he's eating, that is Ramadan. He make mubashara. He's, they talking him to spouses, and they know they are in Ramadan. All what we have said, it leads to the breaking of the fast. It fulfills the hukum of breaking of the fast if it's done intentionally, willingly. قال عامدا ذاكرا لصومه, knowing that he's fasting. So عامدا, the opposite of it is غير العامد. He didn't have the intention. Not having the intention has two types. Things that happen without his choice. For example, a strong wind, and there's, a lot of sand or dust get inside his mouth. He swallow it. He didn't intend to do it. This is, if we say anything that goes inside the body will break the fast, including the sand, for example. For the scholar said only food or only thing that is consumed as a food that break the fast. But we say if anything will break the fast to get inside the stomach. So I say someone he's walking or traveling, and there's a big wind, and the wind cause the sand to get inside his mouth and get inside his stomach. This is, even those scholars who saying that the sand will break the fasting, in this condition does not. That's why we said we're going to come to the conclusion that all the scholars, they're saying the same thing, but in different ways. So this one, he said, whatever you get inside, without your choice, it does not break your wudu. Does not break your fast. قال مثل something that comes into his mouth like dust, smoke, حشرة, insect. He's rinsing his mouth, and then he gets some water. He didn't intend it. That does not break the fast. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala قال وَلَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ فِيمَا أَخْطَأْتُمْ بِهِ وَلَكِنْ مَا تَعَمَّدَتْ قُلُوبُكُمْ. There's no objection and blame on you on anything that you have done by mistake. But whatever you intended with your heart, that's the intention in the heart. That's what will be causing the hukum. The second type, so the first type, you don't have a choice, will not break your wudu. The second type is ikrah. And ikrah, someone is forced to do it. Someone, for example, he threatened a person, say, you eat. If not, I'm going to hurt you. If that person will eat, it will not break his fast. إِلَّا مَنْ أُكْرِهَ وَقَلْبُهُ مُطْمَئِنٌ بِالْإِيمَانِ. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us, someone to say statement of disbelief, he will never be disbeliever as long as his heart is sound with Iman. He said the same thing, someone who does not want to eat, but he's forced, mukrah, he's being threatened. He say he will eat because he's threatened, not he eat to enjoy eating. He's eating because he's threatened. He's taht ikrah. He doesn't have the choice. So when the choice is subhanallah removed from the action, that action will not lead to its hukum. Eating caused the breaking of the fast only when someone did it with his own choice. If he did it by mistake, if he did it forgetting, if he did it was forcing, it does not break his fast. واضح? That's why قال ذاكرا لصومه. He's remembering, intentionally knowing that he is fasting. Because someone will eat intentionally. He entered his place and he opened. There's a food on the table. He will start to eat. He intended to eat. But he forget that he was fasting. That subhanallah does not break his fast. Does not void his fast. Because the Prophet ﷺ قال من نسي وهو صائم فأكل أو شرب فليتم صومه فإنما أطعمه الله وسقاه. Whoever who forgets while he is fasting and he will eat or drink, he should continue his fasting. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who fed him and watered him. So here when you forget, it's you who's not eating. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who fed you. Look, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he didn't say he ate. He said Allah gave him. قال وانظر في الحديث أطعمه الله سبحانه وتعالى. أطعمه الله. And we have دليل عام ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. أو مكرها, this is what we mentioned. مكرها, someone is forced, is against his own will. قال وليس عليكم جناح سيد قال في الروض in another book الله يحفظك مكرها for example someone قال ولو بوجور مغمى عليه معالجة. Someone lost conscience, he faint. People pour on his face water. Coming back to his conscience, all that water get inside his, his mouth, and he swallow it. This does not break the fasting. Okay, it does not void his fasting. Someone is sleeping, and someone pour on him water or on her water. That water get inside, the someone's mouth, and he swallow it. It does not break. Why? Because he didn't choose or intend to drink it. Well, so غير عامد وناسيا, it does not break. If he didn't do it intentionally or he was forgetting, therefore the action of drinking or of eating does not break the wudu or does not nullify his fasting. طيب. فقال عامدا ذاكرا لصومه فسد. طيب. Now the exception, if you will eat intentionally but forgetting, then also does not void. لا ناسيا, because nasiyan, as you said, you eat with intention. You eat the food, you have the intention. أو مكرها, forced. So when you eat mukrah, you know that it's food. Someone say, you drink this water, and threaten you to hurt you. When you drink it, you know you had the intention to drink the water. You know it's water, and you remember that you are fasting, but you don't do it because you are disobeying Allah. You're doing it because you are forced. Al-mukrahu. أو طار إلى حلقه ذباب أو غبار أو فكر فأنزل. All of this does not, all what is gonna come, does not break the wudu. Does not break the wudu. طار إلى حلقه ذباب. Someone, subhanAllah, a fly get into his throat. It doesn't break his wudu, his fasting. قال أو طار إلى حلقه ذباب أو غبار, dust or sand, أو تمضمض, or he's rinsing his mouth, أو استنثر, he's like meaning here استنشق, the action of sniffling. أو زاد على الثلاث, because in the wudu you do 3 times. More than 3 times becomes excessive, becomes makruh. For some scholars, they say it's forbidden to do more than 3. The sunnah is 3. But if someone will make the sniffling more than 3 times, and after the 3 times the water pass through his nose and get to his throat, it does not break his fast. Why? Because he didn't do it intentionally. He didn't do it want to drink or want to get some water into his stomach. There's old people, there's some, in the Muslim country, old people were ignorant. They said, Alhamdulillah, if it wasn't the instant sheikh, someone will die from thirst. So they use this instant sheikh. Of course, this is cause least to break the fast because they do it intentionally. But if someone make an instant sheikh and it happened that water passed into his throat, it does not break his fast. Why? Because he didn't do it intentionally. This is what the author is telling us. قال أو طار إلى حلقه ذباب أو غبار أو فكر فأنزل. فكر فأنزل. Now this is another مسألة. فكر فأنزل. فكر فأنزل, someone has thoughts. And subhanallah, Shaitan whispered to his thoughts and he get into thoughts that cause to move some desires, and that moving desire make someone to have the water coming out. This is, subhanallah, according to the scholar, it does not break the wudu, unless when someone had these thoughts, he doing an action to kind of cause the coming out of the water. That's break the wudu. But if someone just thoughts leads to the coming out of the water, that's it will not break. Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ قال إن الله تجاوز لأمتي ما حدثت به أنفسها ما لم تعمل أو تتكلم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive my ummah, or tajawaza, let it not be accountable, whatever their own self or their own thoughts that they have. Many people, they have very ill thoughts. As long as someone does not act upon the thought or speaks to express the thoughts, he will not calling accountable or blame it for it. In this case, someone had thoughts, he didn't do any action, but without controlling, the water comes out. He will not break his wudu. But thoughts and did his action, rubbing or doing any type of action to cause the coming out of the water, therefore that's what to break the wudu. Next, قال أو احتلم. احتلم is to wake up on janaba. احتلم is the coming out of the water during sleep. It does not break or void the siyam. Someone, for example, wake up late for Fajr. When he wake up, he find like he did ihtilam. He's in state of janaba. In Ramadan, he's required the ghusl to pray, but the ghusl is not required to keep fasting. The ghusl is required for the prayer, not for the fasting. So if someone, for example, ihtalam, or he's in a state of janaba before Fajr, he ate and he got tired and he slept. When he wake up, he need the ghusl for the prayer, not the ghusl for the siyam. So that's why the ihtilam, it does not break the fast. طيب. أو أصبح في فيه طعام فلفظه. Someone, he ate suhoor, dates for example, and some remaining of the dates stays in his mouth, and when he wake up, he will have, after Fajr, he will have, he has, remaining of food. That remaining of food, he doesn't know if he ate it during his sleep. What he does, he will spit it out and does not ruin or void his fasting. قال أو أصبح في فيه طعام فلفظه. He found out that he still have some food, he will spit it out and that's it. It ends there. It does not void his fasting. أو اغتسل أو تمضمض, or he taken a shower. When he's taking a shower, and while he's in the shower and making ghusl, some of the water get into his throat. It does not break the fast. Or the same when he's rinsing his mouth, does not break the fast. As you see, all this action that we are talking about, all include one illah, one reason. There's no intention in what is happening. There's no choice in it. Someone is not intending to do it. أو زاد على الثلاث أو بالغ فدخل الماء حلقه لم يفسد. Even rinsing, sniffling the water, or even if he overdo the sniffling, as sometimes someone he get used to. When he take the water, he really get it like breathe it, sniff it very strong. And in Ramadan he forget, he keep doing the same action and he gets some water. That does not void his fasting. أو بالغ فدخل الماء حلقه لم يفسد. طيب. There's a مسألة, it's good to mention it. Someone, for example, in a day that is very hot, and he has like his mouth is very dry, he will take some water to rinse his water, to gargle some water, just to moist the water, his mouth. There's no objection at all. But what if a person is doing that, by mistake he swallows some water? It does not void his fast, brother. Because some people, they will say that, but there's a presumption that is going to lead him to that. I said, but he was doing it for a reason, because his mouth is so dry. And he had the right to do it. And if it happened that something get through the throat, it will not void his fasting. Based on that, can the one fasting use the toothbrush and the toothpaste? Yes, he can. Based on this. Based on this. Some scholars say it's better to not use it, because sometimes the toothpaste is very strong, that makes someone to really feel, or to have someone to swallow it. And that's, just someone to have precaution, or to use like, lot smaller quantity in Ramadan if he wish, or to use the miswak. The miswak has a good flavor, and it has, cleans as the toothpaste does. طيب. The next مسألة: ومن أكل شاكا في طلوع الفجر صح صومه، لا إن أكل شاكا في غروب الشمس أو معتقدا أنه ليل فبان نهارا. I will translate this 2 lines, and then I'll prefer we study it next time. Inshallah, we prefer we study it next time. So whoever who eats in time of suhoor, doubting the coming up of the dawn, he's not sure. He's eating, he said, Ya Allah, Fajr is still Fajr or not? His siyam is sahih. But if he break his fast doubting the sunset, his siyam is not sahih. Brother. Or he's still believing that it's still night, then he find out that it's day, which is like, this is after Fajr already. Okay? So this masala, we study it next time to see how the shak validate the fasting at the Fajr time, but void the fasting at the sunset time. And somehow someone he believe, that is still night, but he realized that the Fajr, people they already prayed Fajr. What he going to do? Those, inshallah, it happened a lot, which is today with the clocks and people they follow the time. But it's good to know this, because even sometimes people they have the time, they still questioning and have doubts, especially in Ramadan. People they want to be sure and certain of their action, inshallah. Any question? Yes.
You said if you make a ghusl or make a wudu, water gets to go and you don't pray to fast. Does that also work? Does that happen still work with swimming also? If you're swimming during Ramadan and then water goes either through your nose or through your mouth or through your stomach, would you lose or not?
That's actually, there's a question mark about the question that you mentioned. It depends on the circumstances. Because al-ghusl wal-madmada kind of needed, here is needed, not in something that min kamaliyat. Someone when he go to swim, his swim depends on the need of swimming. If someone is swimming because he has to cross the river or things to go get something, then if it happened, it does not break his fast. But if someone is swimming because he has sometimes and he want to have a spare time, just the day is long and you want to have it as fun, that the scholar يقولوا في مظنة العمد, is like شبه العمد, is like he knowing if he going to swim, there's a big chance that he going to swallow the water. Therefore, if he does, then he has to redo that day. So it depends on the circumstances. Depends on the need of the swimming. Inshallah. Well.
And the same question was, some people, they have when you brush your tongue with a gag that some people are stronger than others. And if you make them do vomit, would it be better to not do it or do it?
What they do first?
To brush your tongue, the back of your tongue.
Brush the tongue. And then that causes people to vomit?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes toothbrush might hit the back of the throat, which, might vomit.
Well, someone needs to be very careful. As in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, قال إلا أن تكون صائما. The sniffing of the water, overdo it as long as you're not fasting. The same thing, this is to use the toothbrush, is to do it in a very precautious way, as long as someone is fasting. To overdo it because the overdoing for the cleanliness. And the overdoing of cleanliness is going to lead to breaking the fast. Therefore, someone he need to do precaution as for the, by analogy to the istinshaq. So he should not do that. And if he did it, as he said here, if he did it, and then the vomit comes without his intention and he was forced, it will not break his fast. Inshallah. Yeah.
And then they asked that follow, they said, can we continue or we do another time for the fast because the job they do is very hard and they're working outside?
It depends. Because do they have the choice or not? The scholar they mentioned, for example, someone he's saving a ghariq. He's going to save someone drowning. He had the permission to break his fast. Someone he's helping in a fire. He had the permission. Someone who's working by necessity and in a way that he cannot continue, then he should fast to the time where he cannot continue, he break his fast. That's, these iftar came out of necessity. But to say today is very hot and I cannot fast, and he make a big breakfast, that's an intentionally breaking of the fast. Because there's people who can fast and Allah give them the strength, or by the strong will that they have, Allah help them and they don't feel anything. And sometimes those people, they have greater performance than the people who's been eating the whole day. So they continue their fasting When they come to a situation when they cannot, so the Sharia obligate them to break their fast. Why? Because the Sharia wants your health, and the Sharia came to save your life, not to make itlaf of your life. But for someone to build the hukum on presuming that we cannot do it, that many people, for example, when we have it in a long day, like last year and the year before, people they say, oh, they have a fatwa, can we do it other days because there's going to be a long day, very hard, we cannot do it. Said you cannot, make this decision or presume it when you don't even experience it. And what happened? Everyone had the ability after the first day, people they say, subhanAllah, we don't feel anything. The same person was intending to not fast because he said, I could not, this is up to 9 o'clock. From 3 p.m., right? From 3 a.m. or before to 9 p.m. is impossible. And then you find everybody's doing it, and mashallah, come to the Taraweeh standing and everything. We cannot build the hukum on presumption. We obey, that's because the hukum. When you come to the limit, you say, I cannot do it, that's when the Sharia told you, here you have to break it. Yeah.
That's the humble life. When you diabetic and they tell you if you reach below 60, you have to break the fast.
The diabetic, he has a permission. Those who have a chronic, disease, they have the permission because he already have that condition. The other person, he doesn't know how his body is going to react to something external. The other one is inside his body. Then he had the permission to do it, unless he want to take the decision, or he willingly want to fast. He said, and then it comes to a time I will stop. We say to this person, you should not do it, but if you want to do it, go to your doctor, someone trustworthy, and let him, give you the right evaluation diagnostic. Tell you, no, you have to take this medication because he knows your situation. Then you have to break your fast. Because at certain condition, breaking the fast is an obligation. There's, subhanAllah, and this is very important to help our elder people. Elder people, for example, he lived like 80, 90 years. For all his life, he never break his fast. He see it so big, it's like something, so he cannot even think about it to not fast. We need to help them understand fasting actually is forbidden for you. Because some of them, when they fast, it really hurt them. The people, they have blood pressure, they have diabetes, they have things. The fasting really, subhanAllah, caused them a lot of damage. So he say, your worship in Ramadan is to not fast. As we mentioned it in the beginning of the book of Siyam. Say, your worship is not to fast. So the elder ones, we tell them, you're striving to feel that you are in a state of worship while you're eating, that is your Siyam. That is your Ramadan. That's alhamdulillah. I mean, so that's why when we say, if someone is not able, many people are going to talk about the safar, or already talked to. People, they will ask you, what if we're traveling, and when we're traveling, which we're going to see it, by the way. Someone, there's a sunset. You broke your fast, and you're traveling. After half an hour, or maybe an hour flying, you see the sun. What you gonna do? Says, I just broke my fast. Or people, they're telling you they're traveling overseas, and they want to count the days, which days I need, say, it's very simple. You're traveling, so break your fast. Right. Why are you making calculation when I should break my fast? Is going to be in the plane or on the time of the town that I was, city that I was in? Say, make it easy. You are traveling, so break your fast. فعدة من أيام أخرى. فthis is the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially in this, قال يريد الله بكم اليسر. Allah intend for you ease and not harm or hardship. More, that's the thing that we say, you know, as a student of knowledge, it can be kind of campaign of awareness for the elders, one to help them understand that worship is their worship. So when we approach it from this perspective, to help them understand their worship is not to fast. But when they feel they have, like, they're not fasting, and everybody else, he said, oh, you know, khayrun inshallah. Like, they feel them, like, even people, when they talk to them, they feel like it's going to be heavy on them. It's like a burden. But if we approach them and say, this is your worship. Actually, when you fast, you are disobeying Allah. That's it that gives them confidence. Allah يحفظك. طيب, inshallah ta'ala, time of Isha. We will have the break after the Isha. When do you want to come back? Is now 7:30? Are you sure? The sisters, take the sister 7:40. Okay, alhamdulillah. Yeah, because we usually take the break before Isha. Yeah, I can. Jazakumullah. 7:40, inshallah.